Morning folks, another great weekend of boxing we've just had. I tried to upload a video the other day previewing the ladies card in New York the other day, but it got flagged by YouTube, apparently inciting violence and hatred against women. I'm not entirely sure how, or I'm talking about it's professional boxing. Boxing is a violent sport, but I'm not sure. I reviewed it again. I couldn't see any language I used that anybody could twist as to being misogynistic or hatred towards women, so I just fucking gave up. So I'm doing this one this morning, so hopefully it will go through all right. I will start with, well, it was Friday's fight in America. It was early hours of Saturday morning here. The vacant WBO super featherweight title fight between Emmanuel Navarrete, who is one of my favourites at the moment. I do enjoy watching him, against late substitute Liam Wilson. Of course, Wilson was a substitute for, it was supposed to be Oscar Valdez, and that was a fight I was really looking forward to. So I was a little bit disappointed at the time, didn't expect much. But Wilson, I'll give him credit, the young Australian, he only had, I think he had 12 fights. He was 11-0 going into this one. He put up a fucking good fight. And he actually had, I mean, this is where the controversy is it's causing a lot of trouble on social media, I've noticed. He put Navarrete down in the in the fourth round. I think it was all started with a left hook and then a barrage of punches. Put him down, and he was all over the place. But of course, Navarrete spat his gum shield out, which is a tactic that other fighters have used over the years, notably Diego Corrales in 2005. And he bought himself, I think it was something like 26 seconds, I think it worked out as. And it was right at the end of the round. Of course, he recovered, and then I will say, he did turn it up, Navarrete, and he eventually stopped Wilson in the ninth. Wilson was in no real condition to continue. He wasn't really defending himself, but yeah, there is a little bit of controversy over that business with the mouthpiece. But fair play to Liam Wilson. I mean, he came in there, no one had heard of him, no one expected him to do anything, and he had moments early in that fight. He was outboxing Navarrete. I mean, Navarrete's got a weird style anyway. He sort of launches himself at his opponents with wild punches. But no, fair play to him. I'd like to see a rematch possibly down the line. I mean, obviously, I would imagine Navarrete's probably going to go for the Valdez fight at some point. And on the undercard, the chief support was Arnold Barboza Jr., who is sort of the up-and-coming, the next big thing in boxing, Puerto Rico, against his toughest opponent to date, his most experienced opponent, his best opponent, and Jose Pedraza. It was a very good, close fight. I actually had it a draw, believe it or not. I had Pedraza coming on late. All the early rounds I gave to Barboza. But again, it wasn't I wasn't upset with the decision. I wasn't bothered by it. It didn't offend me. It wasn't a terrible decision. It's just what you like, isn't it? I thought the cleaner punches were coming from Pedraza, especially when he switched southpaw. I thought he was fantastic. But it was the clusters of punches, the combinations were coming from Barboza. So good fight, another one. Wouldn't mind seeing that one again. Yeah, and then of course on Saturday night, last night from New York, the card headlined by Amanda Serrano, Erika Cruz for the undisputed women's featherweight. Brilliant fight, absolutely brilliant fight. I mean, although the scorecards were pretty one-sided, it was just non-stop action, and Cruz was very, very brave. Erika Cruz was extremely brave, but she was just no match really for Serrano. Serrano was absolutely brilliant. And of course, the chief support was Alycia Baumgardner against Elhem Mekhaled from France. Basically for all the marbles, the vacant WBA title, which Choi had vacated due to injury. Champion in recess, I believe the WBA said she was. And Mekhaled was very brave again. She was kind of outgunned for most of the fight. She was put down heavily, quite nastily actually, in the third. I thought she was finished. I didn't think she'd carry on. But she did. She got up, she battled back, she fought her heart out, she tried, but she was no match. Baumgardner, something else. You know, my only criticism of Baumgardner is she's tends to look for the knockout a bit too much, and she gets gassed quite late. You know, she's fatigue, stamina is an issue, but apart from that, absolutely fantastic. So it looks like there could be a fight down the road between Baumgardner, because that was the super featherweight division she unified last night. It's now the undisputed. No reason that she couldn't fight Katie Taylor, move up and challenge Taylor at some point, or move down, and fight Amanda Serrano, or Serrano come up, or Serrano could have the rematch with Taylor from that fantastic fight last year. The possibilities are endless between the three women. I mean, fantastic. And I'm going to say it again, I've been saying it for a while. I still don't understand why the women's boxing in the year 2023, they are not fighting 3-minute rounds, and they're not fighting 12 rounds for championship fights, just like the men. I mean, we're all in an equal world. The women are actually more exciting at the moment because the top girls are actually fighting each other. Whereas a lot of the top men, as we know, which is a subject of frustration for me and every other boxing fan out there, tiptoe around each other and avoid each other and get out of fighting each other and make up bullshit excuses, and it's just fucking annoying. Whereas the women are actually fighting each other. They're making the undisputed fights. They're making the big fights between the top women. So, you know, why is it not happening? But it's more politics than bullshit, I would imagine. But yeah, it was a very entertaining weekend. We've been spoilt. We had the light heavyweight title fight last week, which will be fight of the year unless something drastic happens, and then spoilt this weekend with some very, very good fights. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you all did too. And that's all I've got to say really this week. So take care, folks, and I'll see you later.